Señoritas y señores, bienvenidos a otro video. This is for Spanish 3 Honors, video number 3, video número 3. Gracias otra vez. Thank you once again for finding my webpage and doing your homework. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some special guests who want to have you listen to their special message in Español.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Muy bien. Sí. You see how easy Español can be? And I was talking to them in nothing but Spanish earlier, and man, they were just going like, and I was like, whoa, hey, take it easy, you know, and you guys go too fast, man. That's it. All right. The video today is going to be covering preterite verbs. So those are a headache sometimes. We got to practice. So follow me to my computer. Let's get started. Muy bien, clase. It is time for us to review those pesky preterite verbs. Yes, they are pesky. Yes, they are difficult, but they need to be learned. So let's get right to it. This information can be found on page 17, página 17, in your Español 3 libro, okay, in your Spanish 3 Honors book. So here the book explains it like this. This is el pretérito de los verbos, preterite tense verbs. You use the preterite to talk about things that happened in the past. But I'm going to go ahead and add to that sentence, and I'm going to say that there's a difference when to use the preterite tense and when to use the imperfect tense, all right? Here's the preterite tense. I'm going to say that I worked at my ranch using the preterite, okay? I'm going to use the verb trabajar. So this is how I would say it. I would say, yo trabajé en mi rancho. That's opposed to the imperfect tense, once again using the infinitive trabajar. If I want to use the imperfect tense, I would say something like this. Yo trabajaba en mi rancho. So the difference between trabajé, preterite, and trabajaba, imperfect, is that trabajé is the preterite, and that's a one-time deal. Okay, I worked, and it's just a one-shot deal. Generally speaking, it's just a one-shot deal. But if I say trabajaba using the imperfect, then I used to work. I used to do something on a repeated basis in the past. And so that's the fundamental difference between the preterite and the imperfect tense, generally speaking. Okay, sometimes they're very interchangeable, but as you learn more Spanish, then you'll know when to use one or the other. But now, let's focus on the preterite tense. So here are the regular preterite forms of verbs ending in AR, ER, and IR. All right? Let's take a look at an AR infinitive as an example. Let's use caminar. Here it is. And here are the conjugations. Yo caminé, tú caminaste, usted, él, ella caminó, nosotros caminamos. We're going to skip the vosotros part for now. And then ustedes, ellos, ellas caminaron. All right? Moving on to comer. Yo comí, tú comiste, usted, él, ella comió, nosotros comimos, ustedes, ellos, ellas comieron. And then you can see right there that we have our IR infinitive, vivir, as an example. Yo viví, tú viviste, usted, él, ella vivió, nosotros vivimos, ustedes, ellos, ellas vivieron. So these endings, actually this information can be found in my classroom above the whiteboard. I've got a few charts up there so that just in case if you needed to just reference how those preterite verb endings go, then you can just look above the whiteboards and you can see what you need to add on to the stem once you remove the AR, ER, or IR to conjugate these verbs. All right? So once again, these are regular verbs and they follow the formula. Sadly, unfortunately, the Spanish language isn't always 100% straight and narrow and easy and all killer, no filler. There are some irregular verbs that you will have to remember by memory, okay? These are learned. You have to learn how to use them. There's no formula for these. So here are 3 that the book gives you right away that you'll need to know. Take a look at the verb hacer. Yo hice, tú hiciste, usted, él, ella hizo, nosotros hicimos, ustedes, ellos, ellas hicieron. All right? Take a look at dar. Yo di, tú diste, usted, él, ella dio, nosotros dimos, ustedes, ellos, ellas dieron. Okay? And then finally for ver, yo vi, tú viste, usted, él, ella vio, Nosotros vimos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas vieron. So as you can see, these three verbs, they do their own thing. They don't follow the regular conjugations from above. And so you're going to have to memorize them. There's no other way, okay? Moving on to the next page that the book tells you to trace your steps, retrace your steps on, and that's going to be on página 19, page 19 in your textbook. These are, let's see, okay. So the verbs ir and ser in the preterite, they share the same conjugation, all right? Even though the two verbs, ir and ser, they probably mean different things, the actual conjugation of those two verbs are exactly the same. So let's take a look over here. For both ir and ser, this is what it changes to in the preterite tense. Yo fui, tú fuiste, usted, él, ella fue, nosotros fuimos, ustedes, ellos, ellas fueron. All right? So to illustrate better how these are used, let's take ir as an example, the infinitive ir. And let's take a look at this first sentence. Carlos fue de vacaciones a las montañas. Carlos fue de vacaciones a las montañas. So he went to the mountains, and he probably went to the mountains just one time. Okay. Take a look at the verb ser, to be. Mi equipo fue campeón escolar el año pasado. My team was the school champion last year. All right. So was or ser in the preterite tense, and those are a couple of examples when you would use this conjugation for both ir and ser. All right, take a look at the next part of this grammar box in your book. Remember that verbs ending in car, gar, or zar, they have a spelling change in the yo form of the preterite tense. So remember that we talked about irregular yos in the present tense. Well, it's the same strategy, but this time for the preterite tense, okay? The other forms of these verbs are regular. Let's take a verb like buscar. All right, let's start with buscar. That means to look for. So, yo busqué. Notice that you have to, for car ending infinitives, you have to make this adjustment. All right, you have to change the C in buscar to a QU. You see that? All right. Same deal with chocar, to crash, practicar, to practice, and sacar, to take out. All right. So that's the spelling change that you have to do only in the yo form. Okay. So take a look. Yo busqué. But then, if you want to say buscar in the tu form in the preterite tense, then it's buscaste. Buscaste. Why am I not saying that right? Yo busqué, tú buscaste. Did I get that right? Yeah. Right. Usted, él, ella buscó. Nosotros buscamos. And then ustedes, ellos, ellas buscaron. All right? So only in the yo form you have to make that adjustment. Okay? Take a look at chocar, to crash. Yo choqué, with the spelling change, with the adjustment. And then tú chocaste. Usted, él, ella chocó. Nosotros chocamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas chocaron. All right? Whoa, hey, take a look. It's my Renaissance kids. There I am right there. Hola. I went a little too far, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Practicar. Yo practiqué. Make that adjustment. Tú practicaste. Usted, él, ella practicó. Nosotros practicamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas practicaron. All right? And then sacar, yo saqué, with the adjustment. Tú sacaste, usted, él, ella sacó, nosotros sacamos, ustedes, ellos, ellas sacaron. All right. Take a look at investigar, navegar, jugar, and llegar. Those also need a spelling change where the G in the stem of the word or the root of the word, now you got to change it to a GU. You see that? All right. So, investigar turns into yo investigué. Again, just in the yo form. Everything else in the preterite tense is normal. Tú investigaste. Usted, él, ella investigó. Nosotros investigamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas investigaron. All right? Navegar. Yo navegué with a GU in your new conjugation for the yo form. Tú navegaste. Usted, él, ella navegó. Nosotros navegamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas navegaron. All right? Jugar. Yo jugué. There's that GU that you need to put there. All right? In the yo form. Tú jugaste. Usted, él, ella jugó. Nosotros jugamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas jugaron. And then llegar. Yo llegué with that extra letter right there. L-L-E-G-U-E is your new spelling in the yo form. And then everything else is regular. Tú llegaste. Usted, él, ella llegó. Nosotros llegamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas llegaron. All right? And then finally, there are verbs that end in Z-A-R that in the preterite tense, you have to make this adjustment. You have to change the Z to a C. You got that? Okay, so let's try almorzar, which means to eat lunch. Sometimes to eat a late breakfast, or just, you know, they're interchangeable sometimes. So, yo almorcé. Okay, so you see that the Z changed to a C in your new spelling, and then everything else is normal. Tú almorzaste. Usted, él, ella almorzó. Nosotros almorzamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas almorzaron. All right? Hi, Renaissance. I keep hitting that wrong button. Comenzar. Yo comencé. And then tú comenzaste. Usted, él, ella comenzó. Nosotros comenzamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas comenzaron. Cruzar. Yo crucé. There's that Z that changed to a C. And then tú cruzaste. Usted, él, ella cruzó. Nosotros cruzamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas cruzaron. And then finally, empezar. Yo empecé. And then tú empezaste. Usted, él, ella empezó. Nosotros empezamos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas empezaron. Again, so for C-A-R, G-A-R, Z-A-R ending verbs in the preterite tense, you gotta change the yo form conjugation. You have to make that spelling change. And then all the other forms, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas, that's all the same endings. All right, so please keep that in mind. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, here I am to plug this wonderful website, SpanishDict.com/conjugation. So if there's any verb that gives you a difficult time, like for example, cruzar is always a difficult one. I just covered that right now, but that one might trip you up here and there. You can see right there that the column that you're looking for when you look it up is the preterite column. All right, and again, the irregular conjugations are in red, and it's just what I pointed out a second ago, that in red you can see that it's an irregular conjugation in the yo form. You have to make that spelling change, and then everything else is normal. All right, so that's going to be it. That is it for this video, señoritas y señores. So once again, thanks for being a good audience. Please be sure that you leave the appropriate proper heading down in the comments section below. And once again, come back to these videos whenever you feel like you need to brush up on stuff in La Clase de Español. So, thanks for your patience. Thanks for your attention. This is Señor Barbosa. It is time to go home once again, and I will see you in La Clase de Español. Take it easy, clase. See you later.